if you see how untouchability was ultimately abolished, one, it started off with the Vaikom temple entry movement in the 1930s, where, let's say, you had independence leaders as well as Maharajas of princely state, predominantly the Maharaja of the princely state of Travancore taking the lead, Sri Chitra Tirunal Balarama Varma, along with the then Diwan of the Travancore princely state, C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer. And these were all supposed to be staunch Hindus and, dare I say, even Brahminical in today's parlance. Okay. These were the ones to take the initiative to open the temple to the depressed classes and the then, let's say, Harijans or people who were treated as untouchables. And the reason why this is such an important example, it points out that there is a moral compass within this particular society which is inherent. And you must be fair to give that society an opportunity to look forward and decide for itself whether a practice has contemporary purchase or not. So that's one. And therefore, you cannot and should not take a paternalistic approach to this particular society, because that is the approach of the colonizer. Because he constantly says, I will educate you because you don't know better. My point is, my people have known better and they have a conscience in place. And they are capable of taking a decision in the interest of humanity and dignity. Point number three, which is the question of challenge. Please, here's where I think it gets slightly technical, but I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. My point has never been that a societal practice must always be left untouched. My point has been, is judiciary the organization or the institution that is supposed to do this? Because judiciary is not an elected body. Okay? It does not have institutional training to understand some of our practices, because institutionally it is not trained in religion. It is supposed to be a secular institution. Okay? Three, your language of communication when you happen to be in the judiciary is significantly English. And colonial linguistics and colonial semantics prevent you from understanding the practice for what it is. I'm not saying justify it. I'm just saying, even to appreciate it on its own merits, you're not capable of doing so. And therefore, you need someone with the training of the subject to make a point of this. So, for instance, in the United States or even in United Kingdom, whenever there's a matter of religion that ends up going before the court of law, the court typically defers to who is treated as the expert on that particular subject as a matter of religion. So, a representative of the church, or let's say someone, a practitioner of theology, or a trained professor of theology is presented as the expert witness. These are not practices that the Indian Supreme Court or any constitutional court has adopted so far, because they significantly fall back on their own training. But you clearly can't be the expert on everything from gynecology to religion to theology to ethnology. That can't happen.